going to just quickly start out with a little bit of music here. we're going to play one together now. We're laughing because our styles are totally different, as you can hear. And so Janelle and I are actually in the process of writing new pieces of music together that we can play, but we don't have any of those ready. We just started yesterday. So we're going to play something together anyway.
With 1 minute, Ned.
With 1 minute.
You start.
So,
No.
no, you have to start. You got to do your thing. I'm not tuned. Hang on. Are you tuned or am I?
You too. I went with the piano.
I feel like I'm in the bird pose right now.
Great news. They're running late downstairs. We've got another 10 minutes.
Okay. Sure. All right. Okay. Let's get her going. Well, sure.
How fast?
Not too fast.
We're going to play a tune, and Natalie's going to accompany me on the piano. The Cape Breton piano playing is just awesome. It's very rhythmic, and it's you'll see it. My mom plays piano, and she learned to play before they had a piano at home in Cape Breton. Before Mom's family had a piano in Cape Breton, she learned to play the rhythms on a piece of board, and the fiddlers would all congregate to play on the cold winter's evenings, and Mom would be banging on this board. So when they bought a piano, they bought it in Toronto and had it taken by train and brought in on a horse and sleigh to the house. It became the only piano in the region, and Mom said she could basically play as soon as the piano arrived. She could play it because she had learned all these rhythms. Anyway, we found the piano last year and were able to bring it back home. We purchased it. It had gone through like 5 or 6 families, and it was just a big thing for us. And we found actually an old picture of somebody in their family years ago. Anyway, I'm blabbering on here.
I want you to tell them about Leahy.
What about Leahy? What about Leahy?
Just tell them about what you're doing.
Where'd you
come from?
She wants me to talk about. We have a band named Leahy. There's 11 siblings. We what will I tell them? We opened. We were on no surgeries. Oh yeah. We had a great opportunity. We opened for Shania Twain for 2 years on her international tour. It was a big thing for us, and now all my sisters are off having babies, and the boys are all getting married. So we're staying close to home for I guess another couple of weeks. What can I say? I don't know what to say, Natalie. I don't know what to say.
Is this what marriage is about? I like it.
Oh yeah, okay. In our family, we had 7 girls, 4 boys. We had 2 fiddles and 1 piano, and of course, we were all fighting to play on the instruments. So Dad and Mom set a rule that you couldn't kick anyone off the instrument. You had to wait till they were finished. So of course, what we'd do is we'd get on the piano and you wouldn't even get off to eat because you wouldn't want to give it up to your brother or sister, and they'd wait and wait and wait. And it'd be midnight and you'd be still sitting there on the piano, but it was their way to get us to practice. Will we play a tune? It worked. Okay, sorry, I hate to carry on like this.
And this is it.
So this is our last number, and we'll feature Nat and piano. Okay, play in, how about A? Just do that now.